on YouTube? Pull up a chair. Okay, this review, before I say anything about this one game, I would just like to point out that Raphael from the Ninja Turtles would beat the shit out of Kratos. Just gonna leave it at that. That being said, God of War 3. What can be said about God of War 3 besides it's probably the most epic action-adventure hack-and-slash game that I've ever played. If you're a fan of the series, you've played Part 1, Part 2. You know the story. You know how it goes. Gameplay-wise, nothing changes. It's the same old story. You're going to get a bad case of the been there, done that. But as soon as that gets over, you're like, you know what? I now know, I remember why I love this so much. Because it may be the same shit, but it does it to perfection. Like, to perfection. This game, gameplay-wise, is a 10. Story-wise in this game, it was kind of a letdown from Part 2, because Part 2 was, the story in Part 2, the way it progressed and everything was great. This one's not bad, don't get me wrong, but it's just not as good as Part 2. Graphics, obviously, best-looking game ever created. It's not even close. Frame rate, all that, cutscenes, fantastic. Characters were amazing. But back to the story, like I said, it just, the pacing didn't seem like it was there, like the pace in God of War 2. It almost felt like I was rushing through it, and I really wasn't. I mean, I was taking my time. I was playing on normal, and on normal, like I'm not a guy who likes to play for difficulty. But for some reason, I decided to play normal. I really don't know why, but I did, and I got my ass whooped a couple times. I died like 65 times. I'm not ashamed to say that. I got my ass whooped, but it was a fun ass whooping, and the puzzles. The puzzles are the best the series has offered. Seriously, these are great puzzles. It's even got like a little Echochrome puzzle in there. It blows your mind, and it's just really good. And then obviously the final battle with you-know-who, and it was just epic, and it goes on for days. And you may feel like it's dragging on, but it's so worth it once you get towards the end, and the ending will blow your mind. So God of War 3, this shit is definitely not weak. This is probably one of the least weak games I've ever seen in my life. I still like Part 2 better, though, I won't lie. But Part 3 was a absolute classic, best game this generation. There hasn't been anything better. Xbox, PlayStation, Nintendo, nothing. iPod, whatever, you play games on your PC. Nothing has been better than this. I don't care what anybody says. This game is, getting all the reviews it deserves. It is not weak at all. Like I said, one of the best games I've ever played. God of War 3, if you haven't picked it up, which I'm pretty sure if you got a PlayStation 3, you've picked it up. But if you haven't, go get it. Even if you don't like hack and slashes like some other guy I know, he said he don't like hack and slashes. I was like, I don't care. It's God of War. Go get it. Game's definitely not weak. Great, great game. Once again, I appreciate it, YouTube. Take it easy.